I mean, they kind of did shut down all like scrims beforehand. That's kind of an important, ordeal. And then on top of that, if that would have been like a region or something, like all those matches get played in just regular servers. Like they would just have to delay that like an hour, and that would have been atrocious. I don't know if they just don't plan these things. They don't think about these things. I don't know who's behind the wheel. I'm sure Psyonix wasn't happy about it because I'm sure this wasn't their ordeal either.
Yeah, from some of the Psionics staff that I was in contact with, that some of the players were in contact with as well, it didn't seem like they had any idea that this was going to have any effect or was going to have any problems. So I think it was really just Epic Games going Fortnite, Fortnite, Fortnite 24/7 and not really caring, just looking for just looking to siphon more money from little kids' credit cards for V-Bucks. But in all honesty, it was rough because they were talking about delaying matches for up to 2 hours
Oh my goodness.
when they were first experiencing that problem. Luckily, it figured itself out a couple minutes before we were supposed to start, but people were panicking, to say the least, and it was causing some issues. So just things that shouldn't happen, especially when thousands of dollars are on the line.
That's unbelievable to me. Imagine, like, they just don't think about you being in that spot. Like, put yourself in the player's shoes and imagine you're sitting there about to compete in, like, basically your career for half of these people, and for the other half, like, an aspiring career. And you get in there and you're like, excuse me, where's our practice? Where's our practice? Like, what are we doing? We even playing the event? Where's this money going? Like, are they just putting this money into Fortnite and saying screw the grid? Like you can't imagine what these people were thinking. And just put yourself in those shoes for a second. That's insane.
You know, sometimes it makes me wonder, and I probably won't ever be in a position like this. And sometimes I even have these questions with like game developers. How do people like that get themselves into positions where they make the decisions, right? How do you climb the ladder so far when you just don't have the brain capacity to have a simple thought process like that? Maybe this huge update we're releasing that's going to bring in some traction to our servers might cause some problems, and maybe we need to be ready for that and look at what other games that we quote unquote have ownership in or are partnered with, what effect that's going to have on those events. No, why would you think about that, right? Because you're Epic Games. It just doesn't cross the mindset. It's questionable to say the least.
I guarantee that they would never cross over like a major, like, for example, the new season of Rocket League coming on December 9th with the new Fortnite season. They would never cross that over because it's about the money for them, right? In that aspect. But the grid doesn't get them money. They're giving away their money, so they don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, and if this was Fortnite esports, they probably care a little more because their viewership like tends to like, do, like, I'm not saying Rocket League is doing extremely well in viewership right now, and they still don't give a shit about it. That's the crazy thing. But anyway, besides that point, no, I mean, I think they genuinely, like, Epic Games as a company seems to only care, about the money they're making. I mean, I guess that's obvious, and I guess you should, but to an extent that it doesn't ruin the enjoyment of other, like, people that play your game, on top of the fact that the pro scene of your other game is happening that day. Mm-hmm. Like, the main thing for them. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, to touch on 2 points you had there, let's be honest, they would never cross over the Rocket League season with any other season because the servers are going to go down either way.
Yeah.
And that just seems to be the case every time. Every time Rocket League has an update, there's either problems or the servers are down for the first 8 hours, and you're like, oh, cool, the season starts, but it's like we're getting blue-balled here for 8 hours straight. Like, come on, let us play and lose our placements already. And then the other thing you said, I got an analogy for it, like Epic Games just doesn't seem to think about the effects it has on other games. It's like if you're a small farmer, let's say you've got 6 cows. You have 6 cows in a pasture, and that's all you have. You're going to do your best to make sure that you get those 6 cows to have a good life and to have a plentiful harvest, right? Now, let's say you're a farmer with 1,000 cows. You don't give a shit if one of the cows gets its leg broken because you have 999 other cows that are going to give you a good harvest. So when you're Epic Games and you go out and you buy all these game studios or you partner with these game studios, you can't necessarily focus your attention so much on all these games at one time. It's too much to handle. But when you have all this money and companies willingly want to join you, that's what happens, I guess. So
Yeah, I really don't know. There's a lack of words for me there. I genuinely don't understand. Um, maybe it'll get fixed sometime, if ever. Maybe we'll wait until we're 80, and
yeah.
we'll still be seeing this shit, and then we'll be telling the new generation like, back in my day, they did the same shit. Like I can't believe that I'm even saying that. But you couldn't fix a simple miscalendar issue in 60 years. But in all honesty, I could see it.
Maybe they'll fix it by the time me and you are going to get the early bird senior discounts at Denny's. Maybe that's when it'll happen. Maybe when I'm sitting down enjoying a short stack of pancakes and a decaf coffee, we'll be able to get servers that last on the fucking update. It's like the day. We can only wish.